Okay, I'm also a visiting fellow at the University of Oxford, where I worked actually before I arrived to the UAE for about a decade in the University of Oxford, and prior to that in the UK. Today I'm going to talk to you about how do we, researchers, use artificial intelligence to develop algorithms that is able to solve some of the major problems in the healthcare domain. Before I do that, let me try to motivate you. I can't really motivate you much because you should be all aware of that many diseases are all around us. And at some point, having a solution that could save lives is an important thing in everyone's dream, to be honest. But let me take you through some major issues that we face now. I mean, if you compare our age of the community at the moment, we live much longer than what people lived 50 years ago. So we are people living 60, 70, 80 years, which does mean that we need to accommodate and have ways to help these people. 50 years ago, people used to live much shorter period than this. Therefore, with the growing and aging community, we need to find novel solutions to healthcare problems. This solution has to have as minimum cost as possible with the greatest value. So you want to find a solution for cancer, but you want to find a cheap solution, not a solution that only a very tiny number of people can utilize. There's one more problem that we face now, which is, as we know, that there's a big shortage of healthcare professionals all over the world. For instance, a friend of mine told me once, in a country in Africa, there was only one consultant in a specific domain, in Obsygynea. The whole country has one consultant in that specific domain of healthcare. So that's one thing, but in all countries, developing and developed countries, we always have this major issue of shortage of medical professionals. On top of that, we end up with new diseases. I mean, big example of that is COVID-19. Sticking with us a bit longer than we expected, but these diseases come and go. So in future, we might end up with also other diseases. Okay, so we need to find solutions, novel solutions that can solve major healthcare problems in as simple and as effective as possible. On top of that, we also have major healthcare problem that we still, until now, we don't have solutions. Some cancers we don't have solutions to. COVID is a major problem, but to be honest, heart problems are even worse, because there are many people die from heart problems much more than what people die from COVID-19, for instance. So finding solutions, novel solutions, using artificial intelligence to solve some of these major problems is important. On top of that, we have a time. We're working against time. There are more people born every day. You know that there's every 1 second there's 4 people born in a second. That's a big number, which means that number of people who are born compared to number of deaths is bigger, which means that we have more and more people. So we need to find solutions that can work at scale. With all that motivation, I work at the University of Mohammed bin Zayed University of AI, where my team and I work on solving some of these major problems using artificial intelligence. So I'm going to take you through some of these and try to focus on the major ones. There are many projects we work on, but I chose some of them. Right, on this figure what you see different images. The one on the left, for instance, is the heart of a human. If we can utilize that beating heart to understand whether this person is likely to develop heart attack in 6 months, that would be fantastic, because many people die from heart attack. But could we use artificial intelligence to predict whether I would have a heart attack after 6 months? And there are many other things that I put in this figure. I don't want to overwhelm you with, but I'm going to take you through the journey on some of these major problems. Okay? So my team and I work on problems such as heart problems, fetal problems, babies during pregnancy, lung problems. Many people end up with lung diseases, so how would we work with these problems? Some cancers, liver problems, and interestingly, I'm going to show you an example of point of care ultrasound, where we can take the research a step ahead to the future.